As regards consciousness for every human being, there is a place where the consciousness to actually starts, seeing better, to actually start thinking better. There's a particular state, I believe it actually happens to every human being. What was the point for you? What was it? How did this version of you, you were not always like this from when you were born. I know it started somewhere. So how did it start for you? How did it start for you?
It started for me, basically, sometimes you think that you want a different direction in life. And it started for me where I would start listening to more tapes, more inspirational tapes, because you just want to wake up and not feel the same way that you were feeling the day before. So you start listening to
Absolutely.
inspirational tapes, and then you start reading books. Then you start associating yourself with different groups that would really change your mindset. Like, I'm in a group with millennials, and in that group, we call the group the finishers. In that group, we associate amongst young persons that have the same mindset. So you start putting yourself into the environment that you need to grow. And when you start putting yourself in the environment, when you start listening to these tapes and reading these books, you wouldn't even realize when you start growing.
Absolutely.
The moment you will realize is when the old friends that you have, the conversations that they're carrying on, it just doesn't make sense for you. Or it's like
Absolutely.
you don't feel on that level. Not saying that you're better than them, but it's just that the conversation is not interesting. It's like you don't want
Anymore.
to talk about that. They,
Mhm.
it's like that was that moment for me, because in my journey, I would have had all types of friends from all different walks of life, and those that I would have clung to is those that are doing things that I want to do, those that are developing themselves. One of the things I was telling my friends, my team members, before the new year came in, I said, when you make yourself the biggest project, when you make yourself the biggest project, when you work on all areas of your life, the things that you were interested in before, you no longer be interested in that. You're going to
Absolutely.
start speaking positivity. You're going to start thinking about so many great ideas, because you have been feeding your soul, you have been feeding your mind the right things, and you have been associating with the right people. You might be let's say Carrie 2.0 right now, but then you work on yourself. When you
Yeah.
work on your mind, when you work on everything that concerns you, even your physicality, then by the end of the year, if you make yourself the biggest project, it might be Carrie 4.0, which is supposed to be a really good GPA.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's what I was telling them. And that's one of the biggest things that we're going to work on this year, is really ourselves, our mindset, who we associated with. So Carrie 5 years ago, maybe was Carrie 2.0. But who am I going to be this year? 4.0, right?
Absolutely.
And
Why not?
that that breaking moment is when you have been listening to these inspirational tapes, when you have been attending all these seminars, these personal development seminars, when you're reading all these good books, and then the conversations that you would have had with your friends before, it's just don't interest you. So that's the breaking moment when they call me and they say, "You would see that girl, you see what she wearing," and I was like, "I'm not into the gossip today. Let's talk about
Oh.
what new business do you want to open? Have
Come
you
on,
have
man.
you heard what that new tape Les Brown put out? Or
No.
have you been to that last sprint into the new year with Bob? What are you doing now?" That's it. That's how you feel. And then when you realize they're not on the same frequency with you, they just wither away. And then you cling to those that are going in the same direction with you. That's the breaking moment.